Hi, everybody. Welcome to another special guest episode of Armchair Keepers of Arcane Secrets. I'm Matt Ryan. My good friend Bob Geis and I are joined with the one, the only Mike Mason, the creative director of Call of Cthulhu for Chaosium Inc. and many other titles. Mike, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? I'm just
I'm
doing my rituals of protection because I've heard you are wayward in your use of keeper magic. So I'm here to put a stop to that and put some you know some warding in place, basically to ensure you don't go completely crazy.
It won't help. Too little, too late.
Bob. Bob, how are you today, my friend?
I've lost D6 sanity at least. I was upwards. I've at least lost five, so I made my idea roll, so we know how
You,
that went.
you're at the 20% threshold.
More or less.
Mike, you know what the story is. Because Mike, thank you. You're a faithful subscriber. You got on the wagon early. You share our videos. You're doing all the right stuff.
Well, thank you. I've been enjoying them immensely, listening to you both um, cavorting around the world with the Masks of Nyarlathotep game and occasionally cursing and swearing perhaps out loud at the what? Why did you do it that way? Why aren't you doing it this way? But each to their own. But that's what these videos are great for. They show you some different ways of how to run the game. And it's up to you when you run it. How you want to run it can be very different, but that's what it's all about.
Well, we should talk about that because I think that's one of its charms. And I also think that's one of its challenges, Mike, is because it's this huge
Well, you see,
sandboxy.
you've already you hit the nail on the head before you even started. In fact, it was like in the last video or the one before, you're going on about, oh, this is a big campaign, oh, it's very complicated. Oh, you need to be, you need to have been a keeper for 20 years before you can even run this. It's too much. And that is a load of rubbish. Anyone can run this campaign. You don't need to know the whole thing. You read the intro, and then you read the chapter you're going to play, and then you read the next chapter when you get to it. You don't need to know the whole thing. You only need to know what's going to happen in the next 24 hours with your players. You don't need to know anything else. Get on with it.
You heard
You
that from the
brought it
man
up to be
himself.
this big challenging thing. It's not. It can be, but you can. It's easily bite-sizable. The whole point of redoing it in the manner we've done it is to make it more accessible and easier to run.
And I think it's a mission accomplished, right? I definitely think it's much better organized. It's cleaner. There is you've added information, but you've not necessarily added complexity to it because it's streamlined and compartmentalized. It's
We
doable.
tried to add optionality so you can pick and choose things, but fundamentally, you point the players in direction and then you just follow them. That's the beauty of the campaign. You haven't got to engineer lots of things. You just point the players and they will take you where you want to go, in theory.
In theory, right? As we've discussed earlier, sometimes our plans don't survive contact with the player.
Exactly, yes. But even though when they don't, you like that, don't you? Because you enjoy the players challenging you and
It's true.
scuppering your expectations. So you've got to think on your feet,
Oh yeah,
and you've got to
absolutely.
and that's cool. That can be fun because you don't know what you're gonna arrive at with the game as well.
No, it's and Matt's running this for the first time. I'm running it for the fourth time, and it's always new, right? The players never approach it the same way, and so
No.
it's always fresh.
And have you ever played in it before you ran it?
No, I did not have the pleasure.
No, no.
Okay, okay. That's the difference between me. 'Cause I did play it before I ran it.
Mm.
So
So
you played it like way back in the day before you
I
even
played it.
worked on
I
the
played
line.
the original box set. Yeah, that was one of my earliest. I guess with my old group. Gary Hall, who some people might recognize the name, who is a contributor to various kind of Call of Cthulhu over the years, was the GM, and yeah, we got all the way to Shanghai, and then it all fell apart
Mm.
in a big way. We oh no, I can't spoil anything, can I? I should have.
You hold off the
I can tell you,
spoilers,
I can
but
tell you one thing that
yeah,
won't
yeah.
spoiler it, yeah. One of the reasons it all fell apart is one of the players, their character was the librarian. Basically, any books and tomes we acquired as we traveled around the world, they were the keeper of them. They were the lore master. Yeah. So when we got to Shanghai, something happened, and that that character decided to run away with every single tome we collected and all of our information. Literally, they ran to the hills and we never saw them again.
That would do it. That
Well,
would do
but
it.
in Shanghai though, were you deep enough in to salvage a climax?
Yeah. But again, that's getting into spoiler territory. So I mean, maybe at the end, I can reveal, you know, in a spoiler section at the end or something,
That's a
what
good
actually,
idea.
how we actually ended, and it ended horribly for the characters, horribly.
Now, Mike, is that the campaign that set the hook in your mouth for falling in love with Call of Cthulhu?
Oh no, I was already in love by then. I'd already played the haunting and been starting to run things myself. Um, so it was the kind of the cherry on the cake to just really seal the deal, I guess.
Sure, 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 sure.
Well, so, Mike, as someone who played the old version and played the new version, it's always been interesting to me to see the changes that you've made. What do you think? And now this can be spoiler free. This is just from a developmental standpoint. What was the biggest challenge and what was the biggest change that you all instituted?
Um, the For me, it was consistency of the information. Um, and it was ensuring there was enough information so people did not have to go to the library and do a load of research on all these different countries to feel that they had enough of a basis to be able to portray the different settings in the campaign. Because I think the gameplay is in the original, but it's very skimpy on the actual locales and what was going on historically. And you kind of either hand wave that and just say, hey, you're in Shanghai now. Hey, it's kind of like New York. Carry on. Or
Right.
you go and do a load of research and then try and present that. And obviously, as we all agree, running masks is a bit of work anyway. So I was keen to ensure that we didn't give the keeper additional work to do, that they could literally pick up the book, read it, and then run it
Okay.
without them doing any extra research. If they want to do extra research, that's great. That's entirely on them, but they don't need to and they don't have to. So every all of the different countries that you can visit in the campaign, I wanted to ensure there was the same information for every country. So that consistency. So how do you arrive? What's the
Hmm.
local laws regarding shooting people with guns, which investigators tend to do. Um, all that kind of thing was at the start of each chapter. So it was there. It wasn't in the middle of the gameplay bits. It was
Mhm.
all up front. So you can
Sure.
read it once, kind of get it in your head, and then forget about it and move on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was trying to introduce that consistency through. And the other thing, the big thing, was trying to logically fill in the gaps in the original campaign,
Mhm.
which really came to head for me in two ways. One, because the campaign is player led and they can go in any order to the different locations, there is no ending. Now, originally in the original, it's kind of assumed that the ending will be in Shanghai, but that's not the case necessarily because your group could go to Shanghai immediately after New York. And what does that mean for the other chapters? Because
Yeah.
none of the other chapters kind of really address that. Well, what if England is your final chapter? How do you make that happen? How do you make that memorable? Which isn't in the original campaign. So we we built into that kind of sections in each of those chapters to say, hey, if this is your final chapter, here's some ideas of how you make it into a climax.
Mhm.
And obviously, certain chapters like Kenya and Shanghai kind of have an automatically built-in obvious climax. However, the other chapters needed that too.
Yep.
So that was a very important kind of thing to kind of bring that together,
Fantastic.
and to kind of narrow that down into detail in terms of plot holes. England, which is the chapter I particularly, one of the chapters I particularly worked on, was the whole Henson manufacturing, the whole Derby episode, which
Mhm.
isn't in the original campaign.
Yeah.
That's all new.
Yep.
And which both of us loved, and which both of us had a great time with our players
Oh, that's really good to hear, because
in the manufacturing plant.
to me it was a massive plot hole. The spoiler is being built in the other country, but all the parts for the spoiler are being built in England. And
Yes.
in the campaign, it's literally hand waved. Oh, and didn't never even mention. And of course, I'm reading it through, going like, well, where are they being built? Because as soon as the players work out that they are being built in England, well, they're probably going to go.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to support the keeper in that. So I had to kind of basically, invent that from new cloth, basically, to do that. And it just so happened that one of the adventures, one of the sidetrack adventures in England is set in Derbyshire. So I kind of utilize that to kind of make that a little bit more relevant by having it situated nearer to a main plot hub. Yeah, that's so that they were the two things that really jump out. There's many others, but they're the big things. I'm getting hot in my cultist robe, so I'm going to take it off for a minute.
Now let me ask you. Do people come up to you? Do they talk to you about masks? Do they tell you the order that the chapters unfolded for them, or have you done so many things that when people see you, there's just so much stuff to talk about that they don't necessarily bring up masks?
It tends to be the latest thing. It tends to be the last thing I worked on or the last thing they read. But occasionally, yeah, there'll be a conversation about masks. Yeah, I mean, and it just tends to be, hey, we're in the middle of running it. That tends to be the conversation. Hey, we're in the middle of running it. We're having a great time. And you go, oh, well, that's great. Where are you? And they'll
Yeah.
go, oh, we're in England or we're in Egypt. And you go, oh, that's great. Where do you think they're going next? And they go, oh, we're going to head to Shanghai. Well, I'm sure you'll have a great time there, kind of thing. So it tends to be that kind of conversation.
I mean, it does have a longevity, it's of lasting power. It is a well-loved campaign.
Oh yeah.
There
It
are
really
many
is.
online groups that are talking about it, and people asking each other about it, and telling about their adventures, doing exactly what we're doing, Bob.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
there's a whole Facebook group just for masks.
Yeah.
I get the feed for that every day, and I see people asking questions or making observations. I think, oh, that's a really good point. That's a really interesting take on it. Or somebody who, but what's really cool is when somebody asks a question, or they're not maybe quite as au fait with things. There's all these people jump on with really positive kind of responses going, oh yeah, that my interpretation is that this happens because of this and this, and mine is that, and no one's arguing. They're just kind of each giving their own interpretation and how they've run it, which is really useful.
Yeah, really fun. It makes it really versatile, I think.
So where are you both currently? Is somebody still in England?
Not anymore.
Well, not
Oh,
anymore.
you've gone.
Not
Okay, so
anymore.
where are you both now?
I'm starting next Thursday, chapter 1, Cairo. I cannot
Okay.
wait.
And
Excellent.
I'm ending Cairo. I think unless the group bails early, I think they're going to try to stop the rising of the mummy, Necrotis.
Chris.
Yes, in the great chamber of Nyarlathotep.
Yeah.
I guess
So
we're at the spoiler portion of our video now.
okay, so this isn't a spoiler. I'm going to tell you how I prepared for when I ran that one time. So I was aware we were going to start with them entering this great underground cavern that was full of cultists who were about to do this big summoning ceremony and so forth. Yeah. So I thought I really wanted to kind of impress the players with the sheer scale of this and how hard it was going to be for them to get out alive. Basically, I wanted to really scare the players. So I spent all day before the evening session on the kitchen table, basically building a model of this sacrificial chamber. I used every miniature I owned at the time, you know, hundreds of miniatures, and go,
And
this is
loaded the
what,
table.
and loaded the table. Yeah, loaded the table. And at the very edge, and this little kind of alcove, kind of balcony that the players can look down. And I just put their 6 character figures there, and I put a tablecloth over it so they couldn't see it. So I started the game, and I said, okay, and this is what you see, and I pulled the tablecloth.
Oh, that's
Nice.
good. That's
But
I
it was great for a moment, and then then you get into the game. But it had the desired effect, so that was cool.
Fantastic.
That's very good. We all have these favorite memories of things. That's one of the nice things about this hobby, boy, it just ignites creativity, right? I mean, from everybody, from the players trying to figure things out, from the keepers trying to run things and trying to keep things going in a logical order, a sensible order. It's great
Yes.
stuff. It
So
is
what?
great stuff.
So far, for each of you, what has been for you the most memorable moment so far in terms of your games?
That's a great question, Bob.
All right. Hey, I always, again, my favorite part of Masks is, and I'm said this many times in this series, is the opening scene, room 410, that thing. That is such
Yeah.
a cinematic moment. And, I've done it now 4 times, and the last 2 times with a live participant playing the part of Jackson Elias, who is butchered in the other room. And so I did it again this time, and it's just so great because it immediately gets the players buy in instantly, right? Instantly. And there they are. They have all those clues. They have their friend who's been murdered, and they have, they're galvanized about what they're going to do. It's just so fantastic. It's just such a fantastic moment for kickstarting the campaign in just a fabulous way.
Yeah, that sounds great. What about
I
you,
don't
Matt?
I don't know if I can put my finger like, I like the last thing that happened is the thing that's most memorable, right? When we had the
Yep.
creature down in the guarded tomb and playing in the dark. I turned the lights off, which was Bob's suggestion, and people are using their phones to read their dice. I mean, that was quite good. Um, I've got to tell you, and I'm going to be a square business honest here. I did not think I was going to have this much fun playing this campaign when I started at the beginning of the year as I am having. You
Yeah.
know, I really am I really am enjoying this. I've got 7 players, some of whom I know better than the others, but the way that the team is coming together and gelling and facing what's really overwhelming, a lot of it, Mike, is overwhelming. Huge ceremonies, as you were just describing, tons of cultists, and the banding together and the just like the interplay and whatnot. That's not a great answer, right? But the experience is very pleasurable. I am having a good time.
Uh, uh,
I always try to, when I play masks, I always make sure I'm running it as fairly as I can. And I do this for all Cthulhu games, obviously, but the thing about cultists, yeah, unless the player characters have, made themselves known to the entire cult, and the cults, printed wanted posters, circulated them around the cult, which they won't have done, yeah. 9 out of 10 times, the cultists don't know that the investigators aren't cultists. Yeah, they can wander in, put a robe on, and go, "Oh yeah, we're from the northern end branch, whatever."
yep.
And if they make their roll, they make their fast talk roll or mythos roll or whatever it is, they get a pass and they can infiltrate and do all these things. So I think sometimes when you have this kind of so many cultists and all going on, that sometimes people think, oh well, the players are going to stick out like sore thumbs, and not necessarily. No, they can get away with a lot, unless, of course, they arrive in London and go and see Edward Gavigan, and
Immediately.
And do what 50% of all player groups do.
Higher than that, higher because it happened for Bob and it happened
Yes.
for me.
Yes.
He showed up with calling cards.
Give them their address. It was great.
But
Well,
I do like the idea though that because it's just one keeper, right? All the information's coming to me and my mind instantly links everything together. But a huge cultist organization wouldn't do that.
right.
Right? There's no reason why the cultists in Kenya are going to know what the hell's going on
No,
in
unless,
New York.
yeah, unless the investigators, they go in at into some big ritual, let's say in England or whatever, and they really, kick it around and they really cause some trouble, and they maybe they don't kill the leader, but they get seen by the leader. Yeah. Now that's kind of thing, that maybe they will telegraph somebody else. Maybe they'll send a communique or use magic to communicate
Sure.
with their equals around the world. Hey, there's this group going around. They seem to know too much. Keep an eye out for them. I'm going to try and stop them now. But should they escape, yes, then the cult will be prepared. So the more the investigators do as they go through the campaign, the more chance they have of actually alerting the big bosses and becoming wanted in that way. But certainly for a large portion of the campaign, they could probably, just flip by in the shadows potentially.
Well,
Yeah.
my guys have taken out the heads of the cults in the two chapters that they've gone to.
Well,
So
there you go.
it'll be
Yeah.
interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it happens in Cairo. One of the things that I wanted to bring up that's been really cool about this game if we're running it is I brought players in progress, right? As we've gone
Oh,
through,
yeah.
two of my players
Yeah.
joined in the England chapter, and I always thought that would be incredibly difficult for the players to process all this information and then pick up. But these guys have been able to do it, and I think that's a testament to the organization of the game. I think so it's much more accessible in that way. So that's fantastic. But yeah, uh, and again, to the point of the cults, these cults are not well organized groups. They're all crazy, right? So they're going to and they're factional, right? So they don't want It's not like they're all cooperating. So it's easy to your point, Mike, for the players to infiltrate and play them off against one another.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I like the idea that in different countries, the cults are kind of in different states of evolution. So in
Hmm.
England, it still seems pretty early days. They're still a little bit rough around the edges. And in fact, as we know, without giving the spoiler away, there's potentially a fight at the very top of the cult, going on. Whereas in Egypt, it seems much more established. And it almost seems like that and is really the true Homer cult almost in that sense. So it seems like longer established, whereas the other places maybe not so much in the same way. Certainly, Australia, it's a very different proposition there. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, we're 20 minutes in, and this is usually where we end these babies, but maybe what we should do is talk a little bit about spoilery stuff here. So
Spoilers.
if you are playing now, or you like Jeremiah, who we work with, if you're watching up to this point and you would like to play this, now go away.
yeah.
The
Spoilers.
the
Okay.
thing that I like, and this is part of my failings, my players, I've had Nyarlathotep itself possess some characters and talk to the other players, right? The other characters, and they
Yeah.
are not impressed. They're talking to a god, and because they're sitting there talking to me right at the table, I can't make it impressive enough. What I like is at the end of the day, I don't think Nyarlathotep really cares what happens.
No,
He's an
no.
evil, immortal god, and it's all just like
The whole
ants playing.
his whole remit is basically chaos.
Right.
So if the players win, it doesn't matter. If they fail, it doesn't matter. It's. I mean, ultimately, whatever Neil Atherton wants to happen in the long term, whatever
Yeah.
their master plan is, even if they have a master plan, it's going to happen anyway.
Maybe fail. Maybe the investigator succeeding is the master plan. Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah. So have you tried getting some sort of voice changer? So when you speak,
Oh, How would you go about that?
Or what I would do is whoever is the possessed character, when Nyarlathotep leaves, that person just disintegrates into ash. That'll leave an impact.
Well,
Well,
I thought about that.
what you could do rather than kill off the player characters willy-nilly is have the that's one. Look, have some poor innocent person kind of stick their head through the door or whatever, and just point their finger and disintegrate them instantly. Go, that
Yes,
kind of thing.
yes. Wad up an NPC and throw it away
And you
instead of
had NPCs running around at your disposal. You could have done that, Matt.
we got well because they like to bring everybody that they meet along with them. No, come with us. No, come with us. Hey, Dr. Kapoor, come with us. All right, so we're in the spoiler zone, Mike. What happened in Shanghai with your group?
So first we had the character run off with the tomes. And then what we managed to do, we never got to Dragon Island. Well, okay, we kind of got to Dragon Island, but not really. We got on the boat and we discovered this glowing green rock, this massive glowing green rock, which we assumed was a magic rock that was going to power this rocket we'd learnt about. And so we thought rather than go and get in a fight with the rocket people, because we'd die, all we have to do is if we steal the green rock, they can't fly the rocket, and we don't have to have a fight. We just literally stealth in, steal the green rock, go away, we win. That's a cunning plan. What we didn't realize is that the green rock is massively radioactive, and that's why it's glowing green. So our game kind of ended with us on this small boat in the middle of nowhere in the ocean, all suffering from massive radiation poisoning, literally melting away as the sun sets on the boat, and we all die.
Oh,
And literally, that the like horrific ending to it all. And one character survived, the one who'd run away with all the tomes.
oh, that's good. I would have had Rillier rise up out of the
Well, I mean, yeah.
right at there at
That
the
would have been cool.
but
That would have been cool.
you second guess sorts of things. Now
So,
here, so this is just the keeper section. I think that a beginning keeper could run this.
Yeah.
I'm with Mike right here. Mike, I think that you could give this to somebody, especially somebody that likes, like an old school traditional kind of game, that likes to do the work, that likes to do the reading, that likes to do the thinking. I think a new guy could take this, new gal could take this and go with it. I think that everything is right in here to do it. The linkage is all spelled out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it requires some work in the fact that you've got to read it. And as you read it, you may want to kind of use a marker pen or a notebook and write the important stuff down as your memoir for how you run it. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, I agree. I think you can. I mean, I know people who have. So yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, it all comes down to, like anything in role playing, if you're the GM, it's a bit of confidence, and if you don't feel it, then don't run it. Yeah, go and run some other things first, build up your confidence, build up your expertise and experience, and then jump into it. Because I think the thing is, the players want to enjoy it too, and they hopefully will work with you to make it enjoyable. Then it's not a us and them situation. It isn't old school OSR D&D type gaming from 1978 where the GM is trying to kill you all the players characters. This is you're facilitating the game, not the enemy of the players.
Right. Did you hear that, Bob? We're facilitators.
Hey, I sometimes facilitate character deaths, right?
Absolutely. Now I hear you two have been I see that you two have been going on and on about the wonderful prop set from the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, our friends Sean and Andrew.
Yes.
But I'm kind of aware that you've not really seen the Uber Deluxe.
We haven't. We have because I think those were limited edition and they're all gone. Years past.
I don't know if they've all gone or but maybe they have. But I've got certain bits of it. I'm not going to all here because there's quite a lot of it. But I got a few pieces I thought you might like to see. So this is obviously from the Shanghai chapter, and it's a kind of puzzle box that you can open, and I'm just trying to do it one-handed. So,
Oh, look at
are you
this.
ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So,
Oh my
in here
gosh.
is the idol
Oh my gosh.
of the. I'll take it out. It's a bit easier. Of the bloated
Oh
woman
gosh.
avatar
That is
made
freaking
from
Look at
amazing.
that,
jade.
Bob. Oh, Bob's going through his bank accounts right now.
That's right.
So you've got
Kids don't
that
need
in
to
the
go to
puzzle
college.
box, but there's more than that. I'm just going to put that down.
That would look nice on my shelf.
Um, Obviously, you get the magical fly whip that you find in the Kenyan chapter, Bandari's fly whip, which when I got this out today, my cats took a great interest in because
Oh,
it's
I'll
got
bet they did.
feathers and all sorts and things.
I'll bet it was like
Um,
a, yes, it was like New Year's for them.
Absolutely. And then there's scrolls.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, those are now we've got some scrolls. We've got we don't they might not be that nice.
They're not that
But they're
nice.
on nice material and
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
cool.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And yeah, there's a couple more. There's
You're killing me.
this one, which is from the Peru chapter,
Oh
which is
wow. Little gold
the
thing.
mirror
You
that
could
you
be
can
using that when you
find,
run your game at
and you can
FlagCon. Yes, at FlagCon, I'm going to run a little no, this is not it. You know what this is? This is a folder of the current project I'm working on right now, Bob,
oh my
which
God.
Mike knows what's in here. But these are all the things. But somewhere
this
I've got the Peru chapter.
this wins the award of the heaviest prop ever made. This is really, really heavy. So imagine the shipping on that is
Oh,
alone, let alone everything else. Then you've got what everyone really needs to have to make the campaign work is the two halves of the Eye of Light and Darkness,
which we do have.
Which we do have.
which you've
Look
got a
how well
version
those
of, yeah.
fit together. You know what? Those might be different from our props, Bob. They can't be. They got to be the same
They're the
prop.
same.
They're pretty heavy, they're big.
Yep. I can't. Matt's already given one away. I'm going to be doing my first, hopefully next week. Oh, I can't wait.
And this is one of my favorites from the prop set. It's a little, carved wooden box, but inside, this is from the Egypt chapter. Inside is a little token of bast. I don't know how well you can see that. If I hold that up there,
Oh yeah. Okay, it's starting to render in. All right. That little
it's
cat. All right, we'll just
Yeah.
take a picture of it and send it to me, Mike.
yeah, it's but yeah, I quite like that one because I'm a fan of cats, as you know. So yes, so that's just a bit. There's the your medical files, Houston's medical files that you've got, yeah.
Yeah.
And we get those as well in the deluxe prop set, but they're in this wonderful kind of lever arch kind of folder type thing with all this extra dish. Oh, it's amazing. And they just have done a fantastic job.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they
And
do.
while,
Yeah.
while I'm here singing the praises, I might as well show you that which just arrived at
Oh
this
my
Gen
gosh.
Con, which is the Gilman House Hotel lounge set, hospitality set, which comes with a book of matches and there's an Ogden
Oh my
um,
gosh.
singing thing. There's you got your cocktail
Oh my
napkins.
gosh.
It's good
Um,
stuff.
there's oh, this is good. This is the do not disturb sign for your hotel door and the room service side. And then there's your room key for the Gilman House Hotel.
It's perfect, isn't it? Isn't that perfect?
That's amazing.
Shot glasses
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
and then some lounge matches as well, some more matches, and these do have the Gilman House logo on, toothpicks and cocktail
So is this-
They're martini olives, right? For
martini olive sticks.
martinis.
That's the one. That's the one.
wow.
There's more as well, but I think it's a bottle opener. But anyway, so
They
yeah.
do it right.
Anyway, there's
They do it
all that
right.
kind of crazy stuff, which is amazing. So if you've yet to enjoy the delights offered by the HP Lovecraft Historical Society various prop sets, then that's definitely something to look into if you are ever in LA and can visit their store.
Oh,
or
that would be a treat, wouldn't it? Have you been there, Mike?
I've not. No, I'd love to go. I'm
So would
waiting
I.
for someone to invite me. But yeah, but I mean, I think I know Matt is definitely a prop person, and you enjoy using props to kind of add a
The
little
play,
extra to the games. Yeah.
players love them. The players love them.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
our entire backdrop is just the props that we use for our games. So yeah, there's
Yes.
right there.
Well, I mean, I'm aware that Bob likes props because my favorite prop that Bob showed me from U2 Cthulhu, I've not actually ever seen used, but I'm waiting, very diligently waiting for. So Bob has got an entire Shoggoth costume that I am literally cannot wait to see in action. So
It's underwhelming, but thank you for that, Matt.
All right, you two. Do we have do we have any parting words for the budding or experienced keeper at Massive Nyarlathotep campaign? Any final bits of wisdom?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think my wisdom is just go for it.
That's my wisdom. Yeah,
Don't be afraid of it. Don't be put off by it. Find your way through it, and you'll find your game.
you're gonna love it. That my advice would be just get in it. Just get in it and take the plunge. Bob, what do you think?
Same. I mean, it's doable, right? Young keepers out there, don't be afraid. You can do it.
So I think I should come back on the show later down the line when you're maybe finishing or about to finish, yeah, and we can discuss key moments in the campaigns, whether what went right, what maybe didn't go quite so right, or questions that have arisen over the course of the play that maybe we can ponder together. What I want you to do, my your homework now is to make a note of when good things and bad things, and when questions arrive from yourselves or your players that you can't immediately answer, or why is it happening this way and not that way, or whatever. Yeah. And I think we can then explore that later on. What do you think?
I think that's
That's
an
great.
excellent idea. That's an excellent idea.
We'll make it happen for sure.
Mike,
Wow.
thanks for joining us. It means a lot, and well done. I mean, it's a great campaign. The hard work in it shows. This was before my time with Chaosium, but you and the team did a brilliant job.
Well,
Amazing.
thank you very much. I mean, I was looking at when it came out the other day, and it's nearly 10 years since when I was working on it. I mean, nearly. So it's and it took a long time to do. So I don't know if you've not had Paul Fricker on yet. He worked on it.
We
Lynn
had we
Hardy worked on
we
it.
had him on. We had him on. We
Yeah.
had
So
to have
have you had Lynn Hardy on yet?
we haven't had Lynn on yet.
Well, you should get Lynn on because Lynn, while she specifically worked on things like the Egypt chapter and the Shanghai chapter, she also assisted me at the very end when we were gluing it all
Oh
together,
my gosh.
and did a lot of work with me on and supporting, stitching it all together to be very cohesive. So I'm sure, and also Lynn was the only person who had never played masks before. So she
Wow.
was a complete fresh pair of eyes.
That's
So
amazing.
you get a different perspective, is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
We'll make it happen. That's for sure.
Yeah. We know how to get a hold of Lynn. I talk to her all the time. Mike, thanks so much for joining us. Bob, do you want to do the begging for me?
All right, we brought Mike Mason to
Mike
you,
Mason!
subscribers. So please share this video, like and subscribe. Yay! Be our friends.
And Mike will be back, and we'll all be back. And what do we say? Always push your luck, right, Mike?
Always.
Always push your luck and carry on screaming.